The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, I'm Dante.
And hey, I'm Dana.
And welcome to the Dante Show.
What's up, Village? It's your boy Kwame, the man with the plan behind the stands. I'm going to go ahead and make this quick because some of y'all got mouths and be talking mess in the comments and saying that the intro commercial is too long. So, I got something for you. Here we go. Let's get into it. Before we bring out these awesome kings, I need you to stop what you're doing. Excuse me? Excuse me? Ma'am? Sir? You? Yeah, you! Whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, I need you to go ahead and share this live stream. Dante and Dana didn't get all dressed up for you not to share their melanated goodness, so share. You share everything else up in here. Share some quality content for your boys. Now that we mentioned YouTube, are you subscribed to the Dante Show's YouTube? Oh, you're not? Oh, girl. I'm going to need y'all to get it together. Join the village. Go over to www.youtube.com/Dante Morrison. And when you get a chance, head over to Dr. Morrison's. That's right, your boy got his PhD. Head over to Dr. Dante Morrison's website, www.dantemorrison.com, where you can learn more about the man, the myth, the legend known as Dante. And while you're at it, grab some TDS merch and his books. Yes, purchase those smutty books filled with smut. Grab The End of the Rainbow and Yesterday Clarified. And last but not least, head over to the company that put this all together, Pyro Media Network. Pyro Media Network is a proactive network focused on providing an innovative space for content creators and entrepreneurs. PMN is dedicated to giving its viewers a diverse entertainment experience while helping content creators elevate their production, engagement, and overall branding. To date, PMN has reached over 1 million viewers and listeners internationally, produced over 52 successful shows with high ratings and fanfare, and has housed over 60 content creators, brands, and businesses through entertainment and consulting services exclusive to PMN. Pyro Media Network is a network that makes you feel at home. So if you have an idea for a show, podcast, or need some professional video and audio production for your business or brand, then join the Pyro family today. Go ahead and visit www.pyromedianetwork.com and we will show you how to go to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome my brothers from another mother, the dynamic duo, the melanated kings themselves, Dante and Dana. Let's get it. Let's go!
What's up, Village? Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Turn Up Tuesday, or Turn Down Tuesday. But it's Tuesday, and you are here for another round of the Dante Show. I'm your boy, Dr. Dante Morrison, and I'm here to entertain you for the next 55 minutes, but I'm not going to do it alone. I have a phenomenal guest on the show tonight. She is truly inspiring, motivating, a trendsetter, a trailblazer. I mean, she is a woman on the move, and I'm glad to have her here. And I believe she's going to inspire a lot of my queens out there to live their best authentic lives and just do what they can do. So right now, what's up, Vale, over there on the YouTube? What's up? So I'm asking all my queens right now, invite your sisters to the show. Do me a favor, ladies, if you are watching, get in the comment section and start inviting all your sisters and say, girl, you don't want to miss this. Get the typing. Fellas, if you are watching, get your queen in the room. Get your sister in the room. Get your auntie in the room. Get your mom and them in the room. Girl, you don't want to miss this. So go ahead and let's just begin to spread that love and put it on out there and let the folks know the Dante Show is live with a special guest on tonight. So while you are doing that, I'm going to wish you the best, praying that your Tuesday has been phenomenal. If it has not been, I hope by the end of this show, your spirits have been lifted. If this is your first time watching, welcome. Welcome to the Dante Show, where all things Black matter. Catch that. Check us out on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Dante Morrison, youtube.com/Dante Morrison. Click that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. It will cost you nothing. It will cost you nothing to be a part of the village. Monique Stacy, what's up, Mo? Monique, I need to get you on the show because you are also an entrepreneur. I see you selling your things, doing your things. Get you on the show and talk about your business. Sharitha, when you are ready, I want to get you on the show. Get you on the show too. What's up, Karen? Karen, watch the show tonight. Don't none of my queens log out because I got a special guest on tonight who is going to drop some some knowledge and make it happen. All right. So you know what? I'm not going to belabor this. I'm not going to just drag this on out. I want y'all to get this on tonight. I want y'all to meet this queen. I want y'all to be encouraged by this queen. I want y'all to learn how to love yourself. Learn how to love yourself. Love yourself, ladies. Love yourself. Ladies, if you already love yourselves, just say, I love myself. If you are working on loving yourself better, just say, I need some improvement. If you are struggling to love yourself, type, I'm not there yet. Be honest. Remember, this is a safe space. Thank you, Tasha, for inviting some queens to the show tonight. Listen, this is a safe space. Like we did last night, we had safe conversation. I believe in safe conversation, believe in having safe spaces. I was talking to my brother friend today, Adi Diggs. And me and Adi always go back and forth on the books we're reading. And let me see. So I got 3 books that I'm looking at right now. The first one is Fear of... Hold on. Let me get these books. You roll over. I'm still here. Y'all can see me. So I got 4 books, that I'm about to tackle. The first one is called Nice Racism. Nice Racism. This is what I'm going to get into this. How progressive white people perpetuate racial harm. How progressive white people perpetuate racial harm. Now, this author also wrote a book called White Fragility. It was called White Fragility, and it basically talked about white people being fragile. So move that out the way. The other one I'm reading is called An Afro-Indigenous History of the United States. I'm going to dive into an Afro-Indigenous history of the United States. I'm going to dive into this one. Angela, what's up? You love yourself, sis? Renee, Louise, you love yourself? Yes. I love it. Then I got Lewis Gordon's Fear of Black Consciousness. Fear of Black Consciousness. I can't wait I love this cover, first of all. You see that? I love this. But the one I'm going to start first is the Trayvon Generation. So written by Elizabeth Alexander. It's the Trayvon Generation, because a lot of times we overlook, what this new generation is going through, what they're dealing with. We always say, oh my God, you wish your life ain't rough. My life was rough. No. The Trayvon Generation. I'm going to unpack this one as well. So I was talking to Adi, and we both were just talking about how, what I want to do is create a talk. Think TED Talks. I want to create a talk that is really going to empower my people, my community, folks that look like me with the knowledge they need to make better decisions about how to navigate as Black people in America. Oftentimes, we fail to talk to those people who are right next door to us because we think they may not care or they're disinterested. And I think all Black people have a smidge of desire, regardless of how ratchet they may appear. There's a smidge of desire to know, A, where did I come from? B, how do I exist in America? And C, how do I be more Black in a positive way? I believe in Black people. I'm not giving up on Black people. So I'm just saying, oh, hold on, Tasha, you want to see it? So the Trayvon Generation, written by Elizabeth Alexander. All right. So I'm gonna tackle this. All right. So that was my shameless plug that I'm not getting paid for, but whatever. If it's going to empower us as a people and bring us all together, I'm all for it. All right. So I'm looking at all my queens. Everybody say, I love myself. Sharitha, I love myself. Monique, I love myself. Angela, I love myself. Renee, I love myself. Tosh, I love all of this self. Come on here, mama. I felt that in my nether regions. Look at that. I love that. So queens, thank you for joining me on tonight. Hopefully you are sitting by your king or your co-queen. Listen, no judgment. So whatever the case may be, we're going to dive into tonight's conversation. Hey, Pam, how are you doing? We're going to dive into tonight's conversation. I'm going to read the bio of tonight's guest. I'm going to narrow it down because Kia's bio is Lizong. So here we go. Kia Lorece Smith. Let me get my readers. You know, I'm 50. I got to accept it and own it. Kia Smith is a creative trailblazer making moves in the aerospace and technology industry. Did y'all hear that? So you know she Black because she on my show. Aerospace and technology industry. Kia is a 2022 Society of Women Engineers Emerging Leader Award recipient and a 2022 Black Engineer of the Year. Modern Day Technology Award recipient. She'll receive her SWE Award at the WE, all these acronyms, kid, what you talking about? 2022 conference in Houston, Texas in October of 22. She's going to get this stuff in October, so this going to be bestowed upon her in 2 months. Kia is also a 2021 recipient of the Women of Color Rising Star Award and a co-creator of Blend, a Boeing retention program for a Boeing retention program for people of color. You heard that? Boeing, right? You heard aerospace, technology, Boeing. You heard that? All right. Let me scroll on down. In 2007, Kia started her professional career as a systems engineer with Raytheon Company in South El Segundo, California, performing test engineering, quality engineering, and materials and processes engineering functions. In 2011, Kia enrolled in the Masters of Business Administration and General Management program at the Pepperdine University Graziano Business School. And as a Pepperdine alum, I'm honored to have Kia here. Kia continues to be a tireless mentor and teacher and advocate for people of color in STEM careers. I hope Dr. Phoenicia Mwepo is watching. If she is not, somebody please tag Dr. Phoenicia Mwepo. Come on. Of color in STEM careers and a volunteer for local and global nonprofit organizations. All right. Listen, Kia has made significant contributions as a leader, and member include NSBE, SWE, I don't know, National Black MBA Association, National Association for the Advancement of Color People, Boeing Black Employees Association, Power and Purpose Productions, Cornerstone of the World, Bridge to Africa Connection, and Women in Aviation. Cut it out. Kia is also co-produced the dating show Time to Go Big, which still needs a network home. Shameless pitch, Pyro. Kia has one sister, Kenya, 3 besties, the Junies, and a host of family members, friends, sorors. She's also an AKA. God, kids, nieces, and nephews that she loves. She enjoys spending time with her partner, Dre, singing in a church choir. Yes! Doing karaoke, dancing, and brunch. Whew! All that for a phenomenal queen. Kia is a beast. So listen here, without further ado, Dante Show Village, give a loud Black heart spread to the phenomenal queen, Kia Lorece.
Hey,
am glad to have you. Let me just say this. When I first met you, I was sitting back because I was already hot. I was hungry. It was that little going away pool gathering, and then I started hearing your accolades. And you know how we do. We will always misjudge somebody. Misjudge. And I'm sitting there like, okay, she got the hair, she got the nails, she whatever. But then you start talking. I just got off a flight, y'all. I said, oh my gosh, she grand. And then
come on, grand.
She grand. Then I start hearing about what you do, and you start saying space shuttles and engineering, and I'm like, yo, wait a minute. Let me get this regalness on my show, because one thing I know is that young Black princesses, they don't get to see these examples of Black power, not in tangible ways. And I'm trying to bring balance to what they see on reality TV versus what is the real reality, So Kia, thank you so much for just taking time out of your busy schedule to just be on my show, talk about what you do and how we can get more of our youngins, our young girls into these programs and doors that they really are prepared to do. And I know that we saw Hidden Figures and all that, but you are a true hidden figure right in front of us, walking around. So Kia, take it away. Who are you? What's going on?
Oh my goodness. And first, let me shout you out for tackling that bio, because she is Lazong, as you said. But I feel like someone told me long ago, you got to brag on yourself. You got to put out everything you have done, because that is the one thing that nobody can take from you.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, they'll weed out whatever they need to at any point in time. But I always try to just keep the list going, not for myself, but like you said, so other people that look like me can be like, oh, she did all of this. Right. So I can too. So it's super hard. Trust, for the people that know me. Hey, y'all, I'm Kia Lorece Smith. He said it's so great. And the people that know me, I'm so much more than what's on a piece of paper. I am all over the place. And what's funny is, as a kid, I thought something was wrong with that. And it took me growing and maturing and meeting people that helped me find myself to really understand me being all over the place and being a jack of all trades is actually a good thing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I figured out how to do everything that I wanted to do, that I promised my parents I would do when I was younger, and merge it with all the things that could be, right, the creative side of me, to become what you see today. I did start early loving math and science. That was my thing growing up in school. I was in gifted and talented. I was, the one on the chalkboard, showing everybody how to do the math problems. I was that person. Right. I would get in trouble. I would get a whooping at home. The teacher say you trying to teach the class. You not the teacher. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just trying to help my friends so that they can pass like me.
I was going to be great.
Yeah, but I was I figured out ways to just, all those things I thought was wrong in every way, I just figured out ways to turn into superpowers, right? So even as a kid, if I can't necessarily teach the class, what I could do? I could run for class office and be a class president or a class vice president. And I did that a lot, just trying to help my friends however I could in my experience. And for those of you who don't know, I'm originally from Louisiana, even though I live in California. Shout out to my little town that's not so little anymore, Zachary. Zachary actually has the best school district. It's not so little anymore because people move to make sure their kid can go to that school. And I'm kind of one of the data points, that help that little city, get to the next level. So I love Zachary, love Louisiana. And my parents are originally from Louisiana. So they went to Southern University. I grew up at Southern University at every game and every event. And, my sister went to Southern University. It's just a family school. And so initially I was one of those kids I'm trying to not do what everybody else did. Mm-hmm. But then when I got to applying for scholarships with my over 4.0 having self, and then I graduated early. Oh, yeah. I was that kid. If y'all would have got to me early, somebody got to me early, I would have probably had a cure for cancer by now, because I was really smart.
I think that's an important thing to say. How you said if somebody would have got to me early, You know, and I think that's crucial that you mentioned that, because I'm trying to frame this the right way. Brilliance is not normalized in the Black community, but there are a lot of brilliant young Black kids.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
they're out there, but because the school systems are just not up to par, for one, to handle our brilliance. But then those who do feel that they live outside the box mentally, they're not encouraged and they're not supported. Sometimes they're even shamed for being so smart. You know,
Correct.
I just want to unpack that real quick. Okay, go back to your story. Go back. Sorry.
No, that's a real thing. And that's exactly why I shared that. Not so much of, I wish things were different, because my story is how it is for a reason, right? But maybe nowadays people can see how, oh, well, maybe if I make different decisions or do different actions, things could turn out differently, right? And that's one of the reasons, we'll talk about it more later, of why, like, I do some of the things I do now to pay it forward, because I was that kid, and I'm sure that kid still exists now, And so because that kid out there that's smart and has so much intellect or so much creativity, that might just feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders, or feel like they don't necessarily have a way to express all the millions of things on their brain, now it's like, as adults, we can help those kids have a psychological safe place, ultimately, to start like really being who they want to be. And my story was, I had a loving household, but, God saw differently. My mother was in a car accident and passed away when I was really young. So I kind of had to go through watching my dad grieve, watching him remarry, and him trying to figure out his life, while I'm trying to figure out my life, while my sister's trying to figure out her life as a college student, because she's 8 years older than me. But she always felt like, oh, I still need to watch out for my little sister. So I would see her making decisions, half sister, half mom. But then I would feel like I need to step up so she doesn't have to do that. I want her to be happy and live her life too. So it was a lot of juggling and balancing that, if it weren't for people in the village, people around, the people that were supporters, family, friends, I wouldn't have been on the path that I got on. I literally was told by so many people, guidance counselors who happened at the time be an AK when I was in high school, like, they were like, this is what you could do. You don't have to just stay and try to figure it out while your dad's moving on and your sister's going to college. You can graduate high school early and you can go straight into college. And guess what? My soror, Dean Way, was over to Honors College, and she's like, I'm calling her right now. And I'll never forget, she picked that phone up and she said, yeah, I have Kia Smith here. Yeah, she has 4.3. Okay. Hung the phone up and said, you're going to Southern. You got a full ride. And I was like, okay. And I was thinking like, oh, I'm not going to go there. But then after that, it's just like the pieces of the puzzle came together. I had a neighbor that at the time I was dating their son. So they were like, oh, she's smart. She's one of, our kids too. We want to look out for her like him. So they told me about a program called Timbuktu Academy at Southern, where the corporations will help to sponsor scholarships as well. So now I have an Honors College scholarship. I have a Timbuktu scholarship, which the scholarship ended up becoming a NASA scholarship, where NASA paid for me to go to school for 5 years and come and work on a NASA site every summer. And they allowed me to, one summer, go to an Ivy League of choice to work as well. And it wasn't just me. It was like 5 of us that was able to do it. But the fact that I'm one of 5 in a full college of people, right? All because this neighbor thought enough of me to put me in this program. And then other people in the community are like, apply for this scholarship, that scholarship. Let's just say that all my scholarships cover my room and board, my fees, my tuition, and gave me money in my pocket to live, where I didn't really have to bother so many of my family members that were still trying to, get things together for themselves. So I'm telling you, if it weren't for these people in this village, I would not be where I am today.
And I think you wow, how you unpack that was phenomenal, for one. And you shared, tragedy something tragic happened, and I think about all the kids that experience that same kind of circumstance or something of that nature, and it throws them completely off course. And then we look at them, 5 and 6 years down the road, and they're not on drugs, they're doing this, they're doing that, and they just lost focus. I think about a lot of the young girls that may be in the foster care system, or maybe sex trafficked, or whatever the case may, whatever is going on in their lives. And these are brilliant young queens that if they would have had, or that people that just really surrounded them, it'd have been a totally different outcome. So how did your past experience, how did that help you today, or how did that make you more passionate and empathetic for the young girls that are out there right now?
Oh my goodness. I think I've always had a heart for just people in general. Because even as a kid, like if I had $1 and somebody else needed something, I'm like, okay, 50% is for you, 50% is for me. We're going to share. Like both of us going to eat. And so that alone became something I was like, is this a power or a weakness? Right. So I had to take some time to reflect on myself. Like, how can I not let it be a weakness, let it be a power, and one day make sure that I'm going to be that person one day that kid can say, you know what, if it wasn't for Miss Kia, I wouldn't have fill in the blank, right? And so when I kind of had that thought, I had that thought as early as in college, like I want to be able to be successful so I can pay it forward one day. And as I was thinking that way, I just made sure to try my best to make purposeful decisions. Now it's hard when you're a young person. I'll tell you that. I made mistakes in my 20s. We all make mistakes, people, and it's okay. We fall down, but we what?
Get up.
Come on. So at the end of the day, I had my moments, but I always took time to reflect and say, all right, are you on the path that you've always said you want to be on, which is at the end of the day to be successful so that you can help a little kid somewhere that either went through what you went through or even went through worse, right? Whatever it is that they need help with, I know one day I want to be in a position to be able to help to where it's not hurting me at all, right? Because, in your 20s, you make good money sometimes, but it's not enough to where you can like actually do things for people and not miss out on your own bills.
Right.
But I'm like, that's the whole goal. I got to do what it takes, make purposeful decisions in everything I do. So that way I can definitely do everything that I said that I was going to do, that I made promises to my parents that I would do before they left this earth, that I can be a role model for, like you said, though, especially those little Black girls, because I'm so pro-Black. So pro-Black that at the end of the day, I'm here for girl power. I'm here for, pride. I'm here for it all. But I want to make sure my people, because I know we've had a history of struggles, in our time here. I just want to make sure the next generation has it a little bit better than I did.
And before we go to commercial break, I like what you said about just taking that dollar example. If I got 50 cents, you got 50 cents, we're gonna make this dollar work. And it, is that a strength or a weakness? And I think a lot of us, we fall into that mindset like, man, I want to be that giver, but I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to give you my last and then you disappear on me and now I'm sitting here with nothing. And I'm sure it's a balancing act for you to be like, well, how do I navigate this? How do I not give my all, and I end up with nothing, but I don't want anybody else to not have anything. And I think that's something that a lot of us, we struggle with. How do we be there for others without losing ourselves completely?
Yes.
That's important. And I believe you wrote a book that kind of talks about that.
I surely did.
Segue?
Yeah, perfect.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with part 2 of this phenomenal conversation with Kia Lorece Smith. We'll be back in 2 and 2. We are back for part 2 of this phenomenal conversation with motivator Kia Lorece Smith. Kia, there was a question that my frat brother Joe asked. He has his niece is going to go to Southern next year, and you talked about all of these scholarships that you just snatched up, put in your bag. Were these scholarships easy to get, or is it because you had that 5.5 GPA that really took it to the next level?
So I wouldn't say they're easy because nothing comes easy, right? But I will say, if you are a student, and Joe, you can tell this to, you say your niece, right? Mm-hmm. You can tell her, like, just keep that GPA up. And then on top of keeping that GPA up, join some clubs, get something on your little resume, even though it's a high school resume, because you want to show people that you're not only good when it comes to understanding books and intellect, but you're also able to bring something to the table when it comes to working in teams and groups, and especially have some leadership qualities. Because when you have things like that, your teachers see it, so they will help with letters of recommendation and things like that. And then you'd have enough information in case they want like an essay on what you do in the community or something that tells them a little bit about who you are. And then that's kind of what makes you stand out in the crowd. And for me, I was like, I just got to apply to all the scholarships. I know somebody will give me something. And it's a numbers game. So I'm like, if I apply for 30, I'll at least get 5. And 5 is way more than enough to cover everything.
Right. If nothing. Right.
Yeah, it's just what you got to do. My niece and nephew, they just started Southern, the twins. Million and Milan, and I had them up all the time. We were going through every scholarship. Like, all right, I was like, we're gonna do this just like I do at Bowen. We're about to have these meetings. We're about to have a spreadsheet. We're gonna go down this list. What are the requirements? Have you met the requirements? Did you complete all the deliverables? Did you? Okay, we can mark it green. And we literally did that for so many. And I'm so proud to say that they got so many of the scholarships, especially some of the ones I got. They both got honors college. Million got Timbuktu in engineering and College of Engineering. And so sometimes it just takes having the requirements, making sure you make the grades, and then, of course, sitting down and doing it and pushing through. And if the kid doesn't have the resilience to do it, then that's us as the village. So what we got to do, we got to help them.
So here's another question. Thinking about the field that you work in, are you rare?
Oh, so if you look at the numbers, the answer is yes.
Okay.
And the numbers are, honest, whether it's at my company, any company, large or small. A lot of times, especially nowadays, after George Floyd, I hate to say it, and all the horrible things that's been happening to our people have been stepping it up. Companies have been stepping it up, and they publish how many people like me there are at their company. Okay. Now, I will say when they first started publishing about a year or two ago and making it public to everyone, the numbers are high. You might see me in a room full of 100 people, and I'm the only one that looks like me. But I will say, a year or two later, with everything happening and Black Lives Mattering, I can see way more of me now. So maybe I'll see 2 or 3 other versions of me, which I think is great, because how can you have success if you don't have diversity? And right. I don't mean diversity when it comes to just color. I just mean every type of diversity. if you have a whole room full of people that think the same, how will you ever get different results that could possibly be better?
Right.
You know, I gotta say, hey, my sister's online. Hey, sister Kenya.
Hey,
She
Kenya.
shouted me out. My big sister.
And I asked that question because you're Black.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you own your Blackness, all of it. Yeah.
Every bit, auntie.
You better slip it in. Right, you are Black. And oftentimes when I see us in certain positions, we kind of hide our Blackness. You know, if you know what I'm talking about, to fit in and to make others feel comfortable. I'm Black. And I make sure that everywhere I go or every room that I'm in, they know that I'm Black. You know, the greed and all, but the core of me is Black. So how challenging has it been to be a Black woman, you know, in the field that you are in, that is honest and transparent about your Blackness?
So it depends on the time of my career. Early in my career, it's so challenging. You know why? Because I was still figuring myself out. As Black as I was, still wearing braids back then, you know, wanting to have a little pop of color, wanting to have my nails, you know, neon green. Like, I wanted to be that way as a young adult because I was that way, you know, in school, like in college and high school. I was very much so creative. People knew, like, you would get something different, whether it was a pass or a fail with my look, you're going to get something different with the look. And it was me just figuring out who I was, you know, but even in figuring out who I was, I could not feel comfortable sometimes, especially knowing, like I said, it's a room full of 100 people that don't look like me. I might be the only person they see that looks like me. So I can't show up looking the way I want to look, because the way I want to look may give a stereotype that I don't want to give to this group of people.
Yes.
And so I struggled a lot with that. So early in my career, back in my early engineering days, well, and here's the other gag. When you're an early talent, you kind of do the grunt work anyway. So you're really in the lab and you're really on top of the products, climbing on top of it, testing. And so you kind of have to be in PPE anyway, which is personal protective equipment. So you got your hair's covered in a bonnet, you got smocks on, you got, you know, safety glasses on and mask. Right. So most of the time people can't see you anyway. But in the times that they would, like in conferences or meeting rooms, right, I would be very self-conscious. I'd be like, okay, I need to press my hair out. It can't have any color. If it's going to be color, it needs to be like blonde highlights. I'd be like this, no red lipstick. I would just try to keep it cute and simple because I felt like that would not cause too much attention.
Was it that you felt like and I want to ask all my other queens on here, you know, those of you that work in, you know, non-diversified vocations, you know, did you feel like you had the weight of all Black women on your shoulders and you were now the representation of all Black women? So regardless of how smart you were, if you come in there with cornrows down your back, you know, and all that kind of stuff, they're going to say, wow, she is the stereotypical Black woman. You know, whatever the case may be. And I wonder how many other Black women deal with that or struggle with that, you know, in their place of work, that they feel they have to kind of water down their ethnicity or water down their desire to just be colorful and bright and vibrant so they won't stereotype all Black women as such.
Mm-hmm. You know? I'm sure a whole lot, because even the few friends that I had at work that looked like me, because we could find each other, like in groups, like how you mentioned NSBE, that's the National Society of Black Engineers. We call it NSBE. NSBE allows us to find each other and say, oh, you work here too. Okay, great. You're in that building over there. We will find each other, right? Okay. And so we would have a small little tribe to kind of bounce things off of, but I still feel like we all feel the same way. Like, no, we need to look a certain way. We need to dress a certain way, business casual all day, you know, and do the best you can. And I'll be honest, for me, it was a little struggle because I always been a big girl. Mm-hmm. And so finding the right business casual clothing to complement my body and show up in the way that I want to, representing all Black people in this full of non-Black people room, was such a struggle when I tell you in the early 2000s, honey.
Yeah.
You know, fashion has come a long way. But I went through the ups and downs of just figuring it out, doing what I could, doing the best I could, you know. And once I started finding the things that worked for me, like, okay, I could find a nice little top with a little polka dot on it, right? A little, but not too much, right?
Put a little color on the lip. Yeah.
Yeah, put a little color on my lip. It's okay. It's a little bold, but not too much. The more I start taking one little step and like, okay, let me try this red out, or let me try out something different. Then I saw things that worked for me versus what didn't. And you know what I started finding out? Those people at work were living for the process, because they would be like, oh my God, Kia, your hair is different every week. I just love it. It's different every week. I mean, every time I would stop by my desk, like, you know, every now and then, like, oh, can I touch it? And I'm like, oh, wait, you know, hold on. Give me a moment, safe space.
Right. Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. But, you know, I was kind of here for the fact that I started realizing, like, maybe some of this stuff that I'm thinking is all in my mind. Like, and maybe it's not
a self-induced.
Yeah, because guess what? The generations are moving in the workforce. So all those people that my dad was like, no, you can't do this because this is how they work with me as an engineer. So they're going to be like this with you. Those people had started retiring. They was tired. They was getting their kids jobs. Now their kid is like, what hair are you going to have today, kid?
Right.
You know what? If y'all are going to live, then I'm going to give what needs to be given, you know, at the end of the day.
So did that inspire your book, How to Love Yourself?
Oh, yes, it did. It's so much, not even just the workforce. I feel like outside of the workforce, personal life was a struggle too. I found myself, you know, not always showing up in the way I wanted to with friends. I found myself dating the same bad guy over and over again for a minute. And I kept being like, wait a minute, this is the same guy over and over again. What am I doing wrong? You know? And I just found myself making decisions where I was like, this is not conducive to who I am. Like, I know I was born to be great. I know I was born to be a role model. And I don't want anybody seeing me like I'm right now. Not even just how I'm looking, but how I'm feeling, you know? And so it took me like really going through some self-reflection, but more importantly, put it into terms that I know how to process, which is creating actions. I'm an action kind of gal. Like, we could talk about something all day, but I'm like, where's the actions? Right. Let's put it out, you know? Right. And so once I started coming up with actions on what I could put out in the world and in the universe for it to come back to me in the ways that I wanted it to, and then I felt this comfort, this peace that surpasses all understanding. You know what it is. Yes. And I was like, I am so happy, just myself, not having nothing to do with anything else. And I had to backtrack. What did I do to get here? And once I started realizing that, along with so many people kept telling me, especially other plus size girls, they stopped me and be like, oh my God, I wish I could be like you. You just don't care. Tasha's on here. Tasha be like, Kia does not care. She gives 0. And I'd be like, I guess I don't care. You know, maybe I don't, but I'm like, I care.
And I guess that's my question. You know, what does not care mean? Because people will look at Lizzo and say, Lizzo don't care. You know? But so what does not care mean? I mean, if you're living in your truth, you know, is it not care about society? Not care about how people perceive me? You know, what does not care mean in your terms?
So I think it's more of not care, fill in the blank to what you would normally care about, right? Okay. So if you normally care about what people think about you, the day you wake up and say, I don't care about fill in the blank, people thinking stuff about me, then you let go of all of this baggage, these negativity, everything that you had kind of creating an invisible barrier for yourself, right? Okay. And for me, I think me not caring showed up as I make decisions when I walk out the door of what feels good to me. So I don't care about how other people feel, because, you know, I might come across a different way to them. Because remember, I cared about that when I was younger.
Right.
But then I got a little older, got a little growth, and was like, these people gonna feel how they feel. And sometimes they're gonna live, and sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
We just don't know. And because that's just so ambiguous, and it has nothing to do ultimately with me, which is the real T right there. I realized as an engineer, you learn how to do root cause corrective action. What's the root cause of the problem? Well, the root cause is actually not me, honey. The root cause is the beholder, right? That lens has nothing to do with me. That lens is on you. So your vision and your lens is based on your experiences, your thoughts, the things that you set up in your mind. So no matter what I do, it may or may not change the output for me, which is me wanting you to love me, accept me, whatever that looks like. Give me an opportunity, give me a chance, give me that promotion. Because there's been plenty of times, even at work, I haven't gotten that promotion. I hadn't gotten that opportunity, right? Yeah. But who cares? Somebody literally said, this Black lady that used to work for me, she literally said, if you don't go and just work for an aerospace company, one of these thousands in LA. And when she said that to me, because I was like, girl, you're right. Because I was like struggling, like these people aren't giving me the opportunities I want. She was like, well, you can go somewhere else. You are right. Because somebody out there is gonna respect the game and love what I bring to the table. Right. And not look at it as a negative thing.
Right. And I think that before we move on, let me shout out Macretia. Because I know Macretia's probably sitting there with some tissue and crying and weeping. Kia, I am so proud of you. Watching on YouTube, and Milan and I are thankful for you and being here for our family. Because of your excellence as an engineer, my son Million, put the name on it, sis.
Come on.
Track to be the next greatest. Yes.
Yes, he is.
I mean, Kia, the twins, come on here. Come on, you stepped in and you made that happen. And so my question is also, when you talk about not caring, you know, and all that kind of stuff, how important is affirmation in that journey? Can you not care even when you're not affirmed? Or does it help to have the Tashas come in and say, Kia don't care, Macretia, Kia don't care, your sister, Kia don't. Does that affirmation help?
Yes, but let me tell you why I say that. RT, my number one love language, words of affirmation. So while some people may or may not think it's a thing, it is totally a thing for me. Now, I say that to say, and if you get the book, How to Love Yourself, it breaks down that there's different ways to affirm and different ways to love, not just others, but yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And once you know your love language and you know how you operate, you know yourself in and out, you know your personality type, all of that, you're able to like really dig down into, okay, what is the type of people I want to be around? What's the types of things I need in my space, the type of things I need in my environment to help build me up? And I didn't realize it was happening until I was able to reflect and see, oh my goodness, this is how I got to this peaceful place. Tasha said this to me so many times. Kenya said this to me so many times to me. And it's like, I started getting all these data points. But I'm like, I didn't even realize what's happening. And this is the scientist in me, because I'm like, if I have all these data points of all these friends, not only just saying, oh, Kia doesn't care, but then you have the friends, especially the plus size, and it's like, oh, you wear heels all the time, and I wish I could wear heels like you. I'm like, I do wear heels all the time, right? And even though people tell us we shouldn't. Like, oh, you wear those bright colors, I wish I could. I do. Girl, you can too. We should just wear bright colors. That's what we should do.
Right.
And once I started like realizing all these people are telling me the same thing, I'm like, maybe it's true. Maybe I was in my own head as far as thinking I wasn't giving as much as I was giving. I thought I was toning it down for the people, honey. And I guess I was just still being me authentically, no matter what, which is great. It's one of my flaws, but I also feel like it's one of my superpowers, because you're going to always get me no matter what. 100%. And once I said, I'm going to be myself, and Lizzo, I'm sure can attest the same. Like, you just start saying, you know what? I'm going to just love all the things about me, because everything about me is lovable. You know,
Yeah.
I've accepted who I am. I know who I am. I've looked in the mirror. I can literally see everything in that mirror that I am living for. You know what? I am worth love. And so once I was able to also start saying that to myself, words of affirmation,
Yes.
and then I have wonderful people like Cree and Tasha and Kenya saying I love you all the time. You see my sister in the chair. She's like, my beautiful sister. She says it all the time. I started just having to receive it, because that's another thing. People can say it. You can say it. People can do those acts of service. They can give you those physical touch. They can give you a hug. But if you don't receive it, then it's just not going to ever connect the dots. You're going to constantly be on this roller coaster in life, even when you're not. Like, your mind will be on a roller coaster. You ever see those people? It's like, girl, you always coming up with something to stress about. And it's like, honey.
That's really that mic drop moment. You said you got to receive it. There's so many people out there that feel unloved, but are constantly told, I love you, from people who genuinely love them, because they haven't received it. And you got to love yourself first. You know, you have to love yourself first. But that was a word right there. And I pray that someone really received it in the intent in which you said it. You said you got to receive it. So those of you out there who are watching, if you are sitting there saying, man, I wish I had the kind of love that Kia has, you probably do. And it's probably all around you, but you have blocked it out for whatever reason. And Kia is saying, we got to unpack, get to the root of why you are not living in your authenticity. Why you're not wearing heels and bright colors? Who told you you couldn't? You know, and it really boils down to who told you that? Who told you that? Who? And like you said about your dad, his navigation through his career, you know, is totally different than yours. So the path he had to follow that he tried to pour on you, you like, yeah, it's a different time. And those coming behind you is going to be a different time. We about to see all kind of black girls coming there with pink and green hair, ski-weeing all through NASA, getting the space shuttle in the air.
Period, honey. That's what we do.
Because you are changing the trajectory and changing how women, black women, can present themselves in these environments that at one time had you women scared to do so. And it's all about living authentically. So Macretia has something about a TV show. What? We're gonna unpack that. We got 6 minutes. I heard TV show. What's going on? What's going on? Talk to your boy.
Well, honey, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So give me a theme song and I'm ready. I'm ready. Look at my auntie. My Aunt Addie is on, y'all. That's my mama's baby sister. I love my Aunt Addie.
Come on here, Aunt Addie. Thank you for watching on tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, kids, give us a quick thing about this TV show. What you trying to do with this TV show? Put in the atmosphere. You never know who's watching.
Oh, baby. So we need a network home because we made this show, Dre and I. Actually, it's his idea. He was just inspired by me. He's watching these dating shows. We like to watch them together. And he was like, why don't I see a dating show with plus size women on there that look like you? I'm like, you know what? You are so right. I didn't even think about that. He's like, well, you know, we can actually put together something. Like, it doesn't have to be big, but we can actually put together a show and see if somebody actually wants to pick it up. I'm like, let's do it. And so now this is the creative side of my brain. Because, you know, while I'm over here being technical at work, I'm over here like, oh, I cannot wait to be able to cast some plus size women, give them the opportunity to get on this stage, this platform, find them some love and some men that are interested in them.
Shine, queen, shine.
Yes, I was so ready for it. So casting was so much fun, like just going through interviewing people for this opportunity. And, you know, we filmed it about a year ago, which I see one of our girls on Fantasy Superstar. Yeah, Miss Fantasy was a crowd favorite. Everybody that's seen it. So that's why you got to see the show, because I'm telling you, it was so good. Everybody was like, these girls are beautiful. And they all were different proportions, different sizes, shapes. It just showed how beautiful us as Black Girl Magic can be. And it wasn't intense. It wasn't intentional to be all black, but that's what showed up. You know, the black showed up.
It's whatever. And I think Black women, I think the diversity of your beauty is never highlighted in a way where people really just can see it all. You know, I think that the way Black women carry themselves, you know, I love a woman in heels. And when I see Black women rocking some heels, I just sit back and like, wow, it's just the way y'all carry yourselves. Like, I cannot wait for this movie with Viola Davis is finna come out. Because I think that it's finally going to show that Black women are powerful. Black women have had the world on their shoulders for so long, you know, but now it's y'all time to really just step out there and live boldly. And let every single person see y'all exist for who you really are. It's no more cowering behind anybody else. No, you stand in front, you know, head up and whatever, and say, we can do this, because y'all are queens. And I don't say that loosely. I think Black women are queens, and every single one of you deserves a crown. And I just love having you on my show tonight and seeing all these phenomenal sisters watching and chiming in and rooting you on. I love it. So Kia, I'm about to give you the whole screen. Okay. And for the next 30 to 60 seconds, I want you to empower every single Black woman or woman that is watching on tonight with your dynamic words of wisdom. So Kwame, take me off. This is now the Kia Lorece show.
Oh my goodness. Well, first off, I'm so thankful and blessed to have this opportunity, this platform to talk to all of you tonight. I just want to give you a few words of encouragement. Number one, if you ever feel like you cannot do something, trust me. Believe me when I say you can do it. And I want you to say it right now at home. I can do it. And I want you to believe it when you say it. I can do it, because there is nothing in your way. All those barriers, invisible. If they're really physical, guess what? We're going to chop that tree down. What Chopper said, chop it, chop, chop. We're going to chop it down one layer at a time. And you're going to be mad at first, chopping them layers. But after a little bit goes by, you're going to be like, you know what? This tree is really about to come down. Barrier gone. Problem solved. We got to the root of it. And guess what? I told you, you can do it. Number two, your network is your net worth. Get you a network. Get you some friends. Get you some mentors, some sponsors, some advocates, some allies, whatever you want to title them, especially after you get to know them a little bit, to know where they need to fall, because you need to know where people fall. Get your network together, because they're going to be your tribe, your powerhouse, your support team. And at the end of the day, you are amazing. You are awesome. And you are beautiful. And we all know it. And now it's just time for you to know it too.
It's time for you to know it. Kia Lorece Smith, you have been a phenomenal guest on tonight. You are beyond inspiring. I see all that AKA behind you, all that beauty, all that. What? Go ahead. It's your time. But you are a light. You are a phenomenal and amazing light that so many women need to see, to be encouraged and motivated to know that, yes, they can. So anytime you want to come back on the show, you are more than welcome. It's a lot of women on here that have just stuff jump. I see my girl Tasha Champion on here. Tasha may be reaching out to you, because Tasha can wrangle up some queens to talk about just their power to encourage and motivate other Black women that are trying to just live their best life. So, yo, Village, give it up for Kia Lorece Smith. Put them hand claps and the hearts and all that kind of stuff. And Kia, I'm going to get back to you to do a part 2 of this phenomenal conversation.
I can't wait. Thank you, Dr. Donta.
Yes.
Yay.
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Special thanks to Kia Lorece Smith for a phenomenal conversation. Black women, you are queens. Put your crown on and rock it. Trust me, you are out there. Without you, there'd be no us. Period, point blank. Facts. Make sure to subscribe to the Donta Show on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Donta Morrison, youtube.com/Donta Morrison. Become a part of the village. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the Donta Show, just reach out to Pyro Media Network. Pyro Media Network, produces the Donta Show and a whole lot of other phenomenal content. If you want to be a guest, reach out. They'll get back to you. They'll reach out to me, put you on the calendar, and it's a done data. Also, follow me on Instagram. Go over to the IG, Donta_Morrison on IG. All right. So that concludes tonight's episode. Village, you know I love you. I thank you for rocking with us. Be back next Monday night right here on Facebook Live and YouTube, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, please be safe. Do everything you can to live your best life. Encourage and motivate somebody next to you. Look at them and say, I love you and I mean it. And begin to receive the love that is coming your way. So until then, know that I love you. Group hug, and I will see you next Monday. Take care and God bless.